everybody, it's Luciditi, and today we're going to do a special Valentine's Day episode. I wanted to tell you one of the stories from when I was living in Japan, one that particularly had an impact on me for the rest of my time that I was living there. In the summer of 2011, as I graduated, before working in Nagoya, I worked in a summer camp in Japan. Our summer camp was a group of 14 or 15 Americans and a group of 4 Japanese. And of the Americans, it was mostly women. So I have to say 10 girls, 5 guys. But in the group of the 4 Japanese that were with us, 3 of them were girls and 1 of them was a guy. Now, this guy was very, very attractive. And every single one of us, 10 girls, were in love with him. And we didn't say it to his face, but we used to have to take baths together in the onsen, in the hotels that we stayed at. And every night when we were in the bath, all the girls would swoon over how attractive they thought that he was. And I admit, I thought he was pretty attractive too. So we used to stay in a place every 3 days. So we'd spend 3 days at the one place, and then we'd get on the bus and we'd travel to another place. And one day while we were getting all of our stuff and we were traveling to the bus and traveling to the next place that we were going to, I noticed that he was walking in the crowd and he kind of stepped back purposely to stand next to me. So I'm standing next to him and I'm like, oh my God, he wants to talk to me. And as he's talking to me, he goes, hey, so I was wondering, have you ever considered having a Japanese boyfriend? So my immediate response to him is, of course I've considered having a Japanese boyfriend. I'm attracted to all types of guys. And he says to me, oh, okay. Well, some Japanese guys are into your type. And I'm like, some Japanese guys are into my type? What do you mean? What is my type? And he pauses for a second and he goes, fat girls. Some Japanese guys are into fat girls. And immediately my soul broke into a million pieces. At that moment, I did not get upset. I was told before going to Japan that one of the things that Japanese people are much more comfortable with is talking about people's weights. In the US, it's not very common at all. But the sort of implication that most Japanese guys wouldn't find me attractive because of my weight literally broke me up into a million pieces. And I think that for me, another issue is, if you look at me now, I was 30 pounds lighter than I am now. So I was a lot skinnier than I am now. I am of a Hispanic background. I'm half Puerto Rican and Dominican. Naturally, we carry on a little bit more weight in our thighs and our arms and our body. It's a natural body type, but I was at a healthy weight at the time and it made me very, very insecure. And when I ended up moving to Nagoya, that was in the back of my mind. I also had a friend when I was in undergrad that I was talking to, and I remember we were sitting at the lunch table and one of our friends asked me, hey Jess, are you going to date a Japanese guy when you're studying abroad? And I didn't even get a chance to answer, and immediately my Japanese friend shot back, oh, she's not going to get a Japanese boyfriend because she's not white. Japanese guys only like white girls. So if you combine those two statements, I pretty much sucked all the confidence out of me when I was living in Japan. I'm a lot older now, so I know that it doesn't make any sense to let what other people say affect me. But at the time when I was living in Japan, it did kind of stay in the back of my mind. And I think it's part of the reason why I felt insecure about talking to and approaching men when I was living in Japan. And also in the 10 years since I lived in Japan, I have seen Asian men dating women of color, women that are a little bit heavier than I am, and having happy, healthy relationships. So I think that now it's not quite so much of an issue as it was then, but at the time I was really young and really susceptible to what people were telling me, so that did sort of not help the anxiety that I already had. So that's it for today. Hope you had a happy Valentine's Day. I know that was like probably 2 days ago, but still, I will be back here next week, same time, same place. Leave a comment below, or you can like the like button so I know that you enjoyed this video. Bye bye, please subscribe. I'll see you next week. Bye.